Hey Griffins, welcome to Giovanni
and Sara
in the morning. Hey guys.
Yay! Hi guys.
So today we have another special guest here in our third podcast.
Yeah, in our third podcast. So if you guys listened to last week, you know that we introduced Alex Lavanos. And in that podcast, if you guys took a listen, we talked about his awesome keyboard player, Thomas Meyer. And we have the privilege to say that Thomas Meyer is actually here with us today.
Yay!
Hi, Thomas.
Woohoo!
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm so happy to be here.
Great. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. How are you liking it so far?
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I've never been on a podcast before, so this is a first for me.
But you listen to them all the time, you told me.
Oh, I listen to podcasts all the time. I was just telling Sara before we started that I am an avid listener of podcasts, and just like last week, hearing that episode, hearing you guys say my name in the podcast was almost like surreal for me because like just kind of like having podcasts as my daily routine and then going like and hearing my name in it and like them like talking to me and like at one point you were like, hi Thomas. It was just really weird, but yeah, so I enjoyed it, and it's weird to be on the other side too where I'm actually being interviewed. So thanks guys, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah,
You're very welcome, and welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, of course.
So how is quarantine treating you?
Personally, it's treating me quite nice. I was a music instructor at the School of Rock in Otay Ranch, and we actually completely converted to online lessons. So I've got a whole bunch of students that I teach, about 3 or 4 lessons every day. And I'm still like having some income, you know.
That's good.
So that's really nice. And yeah, it's actually, I've had a lot of time to practice. I've had a lot of time to write music, to record. And overall, quarantine's treated me quite nice.
Yes. Have you found where the toilet paper is?
Thankfully, I live with my parents, and my dad has done a great job at seeking out all of the toilet paper wherever it may be. So we're in full supply right now, thank God.
That's great. Me too. I've got boxes all around me.
Oh, that's great.
We're all stocked up on food too, right, G?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we got a whole garage full of them. So, yeah, we're ready for the apocalypse.
I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but I have been eating a lot of junk food lately.
Same.
Like every grocery store trip, I'm like, okay, get the regular stuff and let me throw in some Chips Ahoy, let me throw in some Oreos, some ice cream, some Pringles.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I might have gained some pounds here and there. Not gonna lie.
Oh, definitely same. Yeah, and just like the fact that I'm staying inside during quarantine and not really going out very much.
Yeah.
Combined with the fact that I'm eating very unhealthy is not the best for my health.
Probably not.
But what can you do?
Exactly. What can you do? You're staying safe.
Yeah, exactly. No, as long as I'm staying inside, that's all that matters.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I hope I don't have a heart attack. I'm just laying there in bed, like holding my heart like this. I'm like, please.
Oh man.
Please let it beat faster.
No. The anxiety is real. Like this disease is no joke. If you look at like the statistics of the people who were hospitalized, like as opposed to the people who got the virus, it's a really high percentage. And it's like, if you get this, it's no joke. It's not gonna mess around.
It's not. No.
It's gonna hit you hard. So
yeah.
That's why we gotta all be careful and stay inside.
Yeah, and the fact that there's no vaccine is scary as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, we were talking about last episode how there's going to be no concerts for like a whole year. Can you believe that, Thomas?
Oh, it's insane. And especially, I mean, I get my income through teaching, but I make quite a bit of side money doing various gigs with musicians around town. And it's kind of difficult for me financially. Luckily, I haven't been spending as much money because I haven't been going to coffee shops every night and going out to eat as much. But I've also haven't had the income that I had before the virus. because pretty much the entire gig economy has collapsed in the past month.
Yep.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. And the music industry is impacted by this. How do you feel about this?
It's hard for a lot of musicians out there. I mean, thankfully, I have a job teaching still, but I follow a lot of professional musicians in the San Diego scene, and also like even in the LA scene. Like I follow a lot of my favorite musicians on Instagram, all of the session musicians, all of the touring artists. They're really struggling. There's like GoFundMes for some of the musicians I follow just because they can't even afford to pay rent. And these are some of like people you would think like are making enough money so that they wouldn't have to worry about that. But no, they're being heavily impacted by that because musicians struggle as it is. They're already living paycheck to paycheck with music school student loans trying to pay that. And it's really tough for a lot of the musicians out there.
Yeah, that's hard. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And, we've now seen a different approach to entertainment. Now everyone's live streaming their shows.
Yeah.
What do you think about that perspective, aside from being there in person?
You've done that quite a few times, right?
Yeah, I've actually done quite a few live stream shows. It's quite a bit different. Usually in-person shows, there's usually like a ticket price, like you pay $5-10 to get in or whatever. All the whole lineup, like you pay $5-10 to see like 3 bands or 3 different artists. But it's a lot different live because there's very few shows that are like multiple artists, so there's not really that cross promotion, because the reason you do shows is to promote your music with the other artists following. It's a way to be seen, and it's also a way to make money. The ticket sales, like usually like half goes to the venue, half goes to the musicians. But now there's no ticket sales on online shows. A lot of people are doing like putting their Venmos on their live shows, and I don't really like doing that because I don't really like asking for money in general, especially if I have a stable job like I do right now. So I don't really like doing that. So my income for shows is none. I mean, there's some people doing some really cool stuff. Like my friend Katie Page, she's been putting on live stream shows every night on Instagram.
Dang.
With like 5 acts in the show. So she'll have someone starting from 6:30 all the way to 8 o'clock, 30-minute sets. I actually just did one last night.
Cool.
Like all of the artists, like watch all of the other artists' streams and all the fans, and they get that cross promotion. So that's really cool. But mostly, you can't replicate the live experience.
No, of course not.
Through live streams.
No, of course not. Like it's just not the same.
Yeah, definitely.
True. Yeah. So Thomas, on your Instagram, your Instagram handle is Thomas Meyer's Keys.
Yeah.
So you play piano, right?
Yeah. So I'm primarily a keyboardist. I make most of my money teaching keyboard lessons and also playing keyboard in groups. I've been playing keys since I was about 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
It's my main instrument. I practice it more than I do any other instrument. I play mostly jazz, but I play most genres. But I also play guitar, bass, a little bit of banjo, a tiny bit of mandolin as well.
Banjo Boyo on Instagram is another Instagram handle of yours.
Yeah, that's my private Instagram where I post things not related to music.
Banjo Boyo, guys.
Does music run in your family?
Actually, no. There's no musicians in my family.
Oh, you're the first one.
My dad is actually a fine artist. He does watercolor.
Wow, that's really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's actually pretty amazing. If you saw my most recent EP, which you guys talked about last time, the cover for that EP is one of my dad's pieces that he did.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
And it's like absolutely beautiful.
It is. It's wonderful. Oh my
wow,
gosh.
that's really cool.
Yeah, you can follow him on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. His handle is @ArtByBrianMeyer. That's his handle.
Ah.
Oh, shout out to you.
Some dad promotion. Oh, he's going to have to listen to this.
Yeah, of course. No, yeah.
We might have him on next.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so music doesn't run in my family, but art definitely runs in my family.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. That's awesome.
Yeah, because all the arts are one and the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's all connected. All arts are the same.
Right. Because, art is music and music is art. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right. I get so much inspiration in my music just by like looking at paintings or poetry or just like reading books or even like TV, It's like, because songwriting is just storytelling and TV is just storytelling. So
definitely. Do you express your feelings through music?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I have like different modes of things that I do in music. I do some singer-songwriter stuff, and I also play a lot of jazz piano. And I definitely try to express whatever I'm feeling through whatever I'm doing. Like in the case of like playing jazz piano,
right?
There's really like a lot of breadth that you can cover just by playing your instrument. Like you can express a lot of like chaos and dissonance, or you can play like really beautiful stuff. You can really relay your mood through that. But also through songwriting. Whenever something's going on in my life, the first thing I do is write a song about it.
Yeah. Sarah, would you like to ask Thomas anything?
So, Thomas, now that, like we talked about before, let's talk about your EP.
Oh, yeah. Course.
Your first EP, which you have made out of quarantine. I think you posted on Instagram or something. You're like, okay, quarantine's happening. I'm in the middle of making an EP. Where did this idea come from?
So the very first day of quarantine, I was just kind of at home, bored, with nothing to do, because I think all of us were. And I was just sitting on my guitar, and I wrote a song, and I recorded a whole bunch of tracks to it and just messed around with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, this sounds pretty good. And then I did it the next day and the next day and the next day.
Wow.
And I literally had 4 songs and 2 instrumentals in 4 days. Like usually my writing comes in like waves, right?
Yeah.
Like I write like a whole bunch of songs in a week, and then I'll write nothing for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I had a whole bunch of songs, and I was like, okay, well, why don't I just try to record it? Because, I mean, I got nothing to do, so I just recorded one track by one track, and I wasn't even intending on releasing it at first. And then I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. I think I might try to put it out there. And I enjoyed it so much that it was originally going to be called Hibernation, but I decided to call it Hibernation Volume 1 because I enjoyed the process so much, and I grew so much by that process, start to finish, writing an EP, recording it, that I decided to do another one. Wow. And the other one is on the way right now. It's about halfway done.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really cool.
Well, we are excited to hear it.
So that's kind of the story of Hibernation. Wrote all the songs in 4 days.
Wow.
And then recorded it in about 2 weeks after that.
Oh, man.
Learned how to do all the mixing and mastering. I've done a little bit of that, but I kind of dived deep into that over the course of the last couple weeks.
Wow.
Really enjoyable process. 10 out of 10 would recommend making quarantine music.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, definitely. Why is it called Hibernation? Why did you name it that?
So it's just kind of the idea of how everybody is kind of just stuck in their homes, just like hibernating for the winter, you know?
Makes sense.
Until all this winter passes.
Right.
That's kind of where it comes from. I have this line in the last song on the EP, which is called Hibernation. And it's, if we knew so damn much, we wouldn't be hiding in our homes, hibernating through the winter.
Wow.
And that's the last line on the EP.
Wow.
So that's kind of where it comes from. And I thought that was a fitting title because this is all the music I wrote while I was hibernating.
True.
So all of these hibernation, whether it's 3 or 4, however long this lasts, I'll keep on making them, and I'll keep on trying to expand my songwriting and expand my musicianship, get my name out there. And it's kind of just a series of music I made during hibernation.
Right.
So cool.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas, I definitely did listen to it. I personally enjoyed it. Good job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I am extremely excited about Volume 2. I know that you said in like a live stream or something that there's going to probably be an accordion or...
Oh, yeah. So here's the story of the accordion. I think you guys talked about this in the last episode too, the accordion.
Yeah.
So, well, you obviously know Christy.
Right.
I don't know if the audience knows Christy. She's a violin player. She's done some stuff with me, played behind me at a whole bunch of open mics. Really good violin player.
Oh yeah, she can play. She's great.
Yeah, she can play. So Christy and Sarah were live streaming together on Instagram, and Christy's sister was playing the accordion, and I was watching the live stream, and I was like, what if I sampled that accordion?
Sweet.
And it was some pretty basic accordion. By itself, no offense to Christy's sister, but it didn't sound the best.
See, I didn't even know it was an accordion. I thought it was a violin, so...
Yeah, it was just some weird noises. So I was working on this song on Hibernation Volume 2, and it's called Running Away. And I actually screen recorded that live stream that you guys were doing. So I got the sound from the accordion. And I also got some snippets of you guys talking that I don't think I'm going to use, but I might actually put in there. I'll ask you guys first.
Oh my gosh.
So your voice might be on it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like,
Because I love putting snippets of like audio, and it just makes the songs feel so much more real, you know?
yeah.
It makes it them feel alive.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of snippets in Hibernation Volume 1 that you might hear, little Easter eggs.
Right. Yeah.
Some of them you can tell what they're saying, some of them you can't. But anyways, I had that snippet, and I was listening to the accordion part, and I basically slowed it down to about 3 times the length. I added reverb, a whole bunch of reverb, which basically makes it sound like it was in a really big room. And I pitched it up to the key of the song, and it sounds like the chill of death. That's the best way I can use to describe the sound that I made. And
Wow.
I don't know. I just love making things sound like things that they aren't, you know? It's definitely very interesting to see an accordion turn into like this like weird drone tone. So you'll be able to hear it. It's about halfway into Running Away when that song finally comes out. It should be a couple weeks before Hibernation Volume 2 is out, but we'll see.
Wow. I'm exciting. I'm going to be the sound of death. This is going to be great, guys. Listen in.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, that's really cool that you incorporate that in your music.
Yeah. And who knows, your voice might be in it.
Who knows? I would be great. We'd have a double collaboration here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think a lot of artists do that. I mean, I think a few, but not many.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's really common in a lot of lo-fi hip-hop music. They'll like use snippets of people talking and stuff. And I know one of my favorite artists, Anderson .Paak, he's like a hip-hop funk artist, like sort of like a fusion of like those two genres. He does that a lot. He puts a lot of snippets in there.
Oh, wow.
And I just love it.
That's great.
There's actually one funny Easter egg. If you listen to the song Bad Karma that I have, when I was tracking the vocals, my dog actually came into my room, like in between verses. So there was like this point in between tracking the verses where I went from my microphone and I kicked him out of my room.
Aww.
And you can hear his like collar like jangling.
Aww.
And you can hear me say, "No shadow."
Aw, so that's what that is.
You can hear that in the
that's
song.
That's what that is. Yeah, I heard
So
that.
in between the first 2 verses of Bad Karma.
Oh, so that's what that was.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear that in the background.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Very unique.
Yeah. It just makes it feel so real.
Yeah, like authentic, like, you know, in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one artist, Phil Elverum of the band The Microphones, and he actually includes all of the sounds of him like walking to and from the his chair. Like he'll be like recording and he'll like hit the button in the studio, do everything himself, walk to the chair, pick up the guitar, and he'll include all those sounds in their recording. And he says it's because it makes it feel alive. It makes it feel like there's people walking around and doing interesting things. And I just love that concept, and I try to relay that in my music.
That is awesome. That is really cool. So, Thomas, I think something that's on both of G and I's mind, is there going to be an Alex Lavanos feature? Is Alex going to join you on a song?
Collab.
Oh, that'd be a very interesting collaboration. I highly doubt it, just because I write folk music and he writes indie rock music. Our genres of music is very, very different. But there is rumors, and this is just rumors that I've been hearing from a lot of people, that do you guys know Tristan Brooks?
We do, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
He's Alex's guitar player.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
And there's rumors that we might be on a track together at some point in the future.
Ooh.
Well, you guys heard it here first.
Exclusive.
We'll see what happens. But there has been rumors and text messages last night about talking about a song that's kind of been in the works for a while, and in between like different things, and about a song that we've been working about, me writing some string arrangements for
Wow.
it. I already wrote pretty much all the music for it, and he's working on the words, and it's just going to be him on vocals, but it's going to be me on keys and writing all of the music behind it. So that's probably going to happen very soon.
Ooh.
And that's going to be really exciting.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Definitely, yeah.
Will you feature Christy? Will Christy be on a track?
Maybe. Maybe at some point.
Ooh.
We were actually supposed to do a show on... Oh, I get the dates mixed up. It was back in March.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was at Gladly Coffee.
Yeah, I was supposed to photograph that for you guys. I was supposed to come and take photos.
Oh,
yeah,
were
I was
you?
supposed to come take photos.
Oh, awesome.
And it got canceled.
That was like right when the quarantine started, too.
Yeah, it got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, it was going to be me on guitar, Tristan on mandolin, and Christy on the violin. And it was just going to be some nice bluegrass folk music.
Dang.
On a whole bunch of the... my original songs and stuff. Tristan was gonna open, and my friend Kyler was gonna open too. Kyler is amazing. He's a folk singer, very Bob Dylan-esque. He has a
Ooh.
band called Gypsy Sally, which everybody should listen to. They're amazing.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Gypsy Sally. What's up, Kyler, if you're listening? What's up, Tristan, if you're listening?
Hi, Tristan. Hi, everybody. Hi, Christy.
Oh yeah, hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we always talk about people, and we always go like, "Hi guys, how you doing? How's everything?"
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Like you said, it breaks the fourth wall. So it's like,
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
breaking the fourth wall. It's like, oh, you're talking to me. I'm here. Oh, hi.
I like that, Sarah.
So I actually haven't done any solo shows ever before.
Really?
Yeah. So I was finally ready because I've been kind of like working on a lot of things. I've been trying to get some songs ready. I just want to make sure like I'm actually ready to go solo, you know? And it's been a process, like trying to write songs and get stuff recorded before I finally put myself out into the world as a solo artist. So in that show at Gladly Coffee with Tristan and Kyler on the lineup, that was supposed to be my first ever solo show.
Oh, man.
But that hasn't happened, so it'll get rescheduled as soon as all this is over. Who knows how long that's going to be.
Yeah.
But I've played a lot of open mics backed by the same people. I've played at Lestat's West, and I've played at Public Square Coffee House, and also Cafe 1134 has a really cool open mic that I play at sometimes.
Yeah. I remember you guys in the talks of that way back in the day when I first met you and stuff.
Oh, 1134 is great. Yeah, that's one of the best open mics. There's such a sense of community there. The guy who runs it, Tony P, he's just amazing person, very magnetic personality. It's a good crew of people.
So is that the venue that you most enjoy playing at? Or is there like a specific like favorite venue that you like to play?
In terms of, are we still talking about coffee shops, or are we talking about just venues in general?
Anything really.
Venues in general.
Oh, anything?
Yeah.
I would say my favorite venue to play at would probably be Soma. And the reason is because I've done a couple shows at Soma. I think 3. The first one, literally nobody was there, and I'm not counting this one.
Oh my gosh.
There was literally, I think 2 people in the audience.
Oh my gosh.
And they were the girlfriends of the members of our band.
Wow.
It was with this guy named Khalil Nash.
Oh, yeah.
But we played our hearts out, and I mean, we sounded good. It was fun, but there was only 2 people in the audience, so I'm not counting that one. But I played 2 shows with Alex there, and they were some of the most fun shows I've ever played just because of the crowd. Just the idea of playing for a full venue of teenage girls is just like one of the most like ridiculously electrifying experiences of all time. It's definitely.
Were they screaming?
Oh, they were screaming. They were ridiculously loud, like their hands up in the air. I'm like, I wish I had as much energy as you.
Oh my god.
No, those are always fun. I really, really enjoy playing there whenever I get a chance to.
Yeah, I definitely believe you on the teenage girl screaming for the band members. I've been one of them.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
She brings me to these.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I'm a witness.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it just gives you that rock star sort of feeling. It's like,
There you go.
Because I mostly play jazz, so most of the gigs I play are in like bars where like nobody is actually listening, and there's like maybe like 3 other people in the audience actually listening to the music, sitting down, or like coffee shops where everybody's just sitting down on the chairs and stuff. Playing it someplace like Soma is just the complete opposite. There's so much energy, so much to go off of. So that's why I would say Soma. But I've heard the Chez Cafe is really good, and I would like to play there at some point soon.
Oh yeah, wasn't that Sarah? Wasn't that the cafe that Alex mentioned in the last podcast?
Yeah, it was. It was the one that he's been.
He was talking about that one.
Wanting to play
Yeah,
that one too.
Yeah, he said he wanted to play there.
Oh, there we go. Thomas, Alex collab right there after this quarantine's over.
Oh man, I'm dying to play some shows, man. I miss that so much.
Yeah, we need to
maybe
reunite.
That's up to Alex.
Your whole band.
Oh, it's a tight band.
You guys play killer.
It's definitely a super group. Like Tristan, the drummer Riley, the guy who's been playing. Riley's ridiculous. He's only 16 years old. It's just like, how do you have that much talent at such a young age? It's kind of ridiculous. Shout out to Riley.
Shout out to Riley, musical prodigy.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Thomas, like after this quarantine is over, what do you look forward to doing? Like the first day that says, okay, everyone, freedom.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drive to Lestat's West on Adams Avenue.
There you go.
Pretty much every night before the quarantine, me and a whole bunch of my friends would be there literally every night. We would get there between like 9 or 10, and we'd stay anywhere between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning. And we would just have like our laptops out on Logic, like working on songs or just hanging out, playing cards, you name it. And that was honestly like the highlight of every day, was just like going there, hanging out every night. There's a whole bunch of musicians that I really look up to, that are friends of mine that hang out there. Khalil Nash hangs out there. Samer Bakri, who also has his own music, hangs out there. Spencer Dugan, who also has his own music, hangs out there. Also, shout out to Samer and Spencer. They just released a song under their band name Burgundy Arcade, and it is a banger. It's called Everything Must Go, and you guys should listen to it. It's like, it's so catchy, so well produced. But yeah, a whole bunch of those guys, we just kind of hang out there every night. And that's the first thing I'm going to do after the quarantine. Go back to Lestat's.
There you go.
That sounds so nice.
Looking forward to that,
Oh.
definitely.
It's like the crew of misfits.
Yeah, I met Samer at Alex's birthday show, actually.
Oh, yeah, he
Nice
opened for
guy.
Alex's birthday show.
He opened for Alex, yeah, nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there in spirit.
Yeah, I took video for him.
Yeah, Sarah live streamed it for me on her phone.
Oh, did she really?
I
Nice.
did.
Yeah, I was there. I was like, hey, you.
I did, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I did.
Yeah, that was a fun show. There was a good amount of people there too.
There was.
All the Fashion Jackson guys were there.
Oh,
Fashion
yeah.
Jackson, they're super cool.
They're super cool. They were on tour before the quarantine started.
Yeah, and Sammer was on tour with them too. He was their sound guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Shout out to you guys.
Well, Fashion Jackson, if you're listening to this, if Thomas, lets you know, well, hi. How you doing?
Hi Jake. Hi Eddie. Hi Sterling.
Alex, tell them if you're listening, just tell them that we mentioned a little bit. Maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll be on the podcast. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, Eddie sometimes hangs out with us at Lestat's late at night too.
It's so cool how you connect with the San Diego scene. You just being in the musical field of music, you meet so many other people in San Diego who are also in the field of music, and it's you make so many good friends, and you can all bond on music. It's so cool.
Yeah, dude, and honestly, those are the people I like to surround myself with.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to go in a career of music, there's so many sacrifices that you have to make. You have to maybe you don't go hang out tonight because I need to practice or I need to work on this song, or you have to sacrifice a lot of your social life. You have to sacrifice financially, I could go to a 4-year university and get a job doing electrical engineering and make so much money, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get a 4-year education, graduate, and be broke making music and not be able to pay my student loans, It's it doesn't make sense to most people unless but musicians and just artistic people in general, they get it. And that's the people I like to surround myself with.
That's cool. Well,
There we go.
yeah.
Truly inspiring. Yeah.
Well, like we were saying with Alex, I definitely believe that you too will get famous. I believe in you 100%, Thomas.
Oh man, I hope so, man.
No, you will. You will.
Yeah, just set your mind to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You work so hard. I mean, you've worked so hard and stuff like that.
We're gonna reach the stars.
And honestly, I was listening to this interview with what was his name? I can't remember his name. He wrote a song called Gotta Keep Your Head Up or whatever. I can't remember his name. People are gonna get me.
Oh, Andy Grammer.
Andy Grammer, yeah. How did I forget that?
Oh, I was gonna say that. Just kidding. I love that guy.
Sorry, Andy Grammer. By the way, hi, Andy Grammer.
Shout out to you.
If you're listening.
If you're listening, hello, shout out.
Yeah, but I was listening to this podcast with him, and he was talking about how when you're pursuing anything, you don't want to think about the end goal. What you want to think about is the daily grind, and just every day, whether you're doing something to help you reach that goal. And he has this saying with his wife, every night they ask each other, "Did you slay the dragon today?"
Aww.
And it's and recently I've been trying to ask myself that. Every night, I'm okay, did I slay the dragon tonight? Did I practice tonight? Did I practice today? Did I write a song? Did I play a show or go to a jam session? Well, obviously not anymore, but did I do something that is going to further me an inch in my music career? And if you're doing that every day for 5 years, all of a sudden you're 5 miles forward and you're okay, I'm finally starting to make it. But you can't focus on the big picture right away. It's just so overwhelming. Just focus on slaying a dragon every single day, and eventually you'll slay the whole army.
Words to live by.
Wow, I'm gonna start thinking about that too.
I mean, for any field.
It goes with everything.
Yeah, it's just life in general.
Yeah, anything.
I've worked with so many. I mean, generally what I do is I back musicians.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of different band leaders, Alex being one of them. And
yeah,
what I see a lot of times is not so much with backing musicians like myself, but with solo artists, the thing that I'm trying to do, releasing music on my own. What I see so many musicians do is they just focus on the big picture, and they focus on going straight from 0 to 100 overnight, and they're like trying to get all these like LA shows and go on tour and all this big stuff. And I'm like, you can't do that right away. You have to focus on the little things. You have to focus on the day-to-day grind. You have to focus on improving yourself every day.
Right.
Practicing every day, writing a new song every day, getting better.
Right.
And like, I mean, Tristan has this song called Slow. And there's actually this video on YouTube of us playing it. I highly recommend that song, and it really speaks with me. It's kind of just like about taking life in general slow and not going at a million miles an hour, not rushing through all the good times, but really savoring every moment, as opposed to just like, these are the bad times right now, but the good times will happen later when I'm touring the world as a famous musician. No, these are the good times right now. You know, like savor every moment in life.
That's right.
That just got really deep.
It did get really deep. Deep conversations with Thomas Meyer, everybody.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that a lot.
No, we need to stare at the stars while we're talking about this kind of stuff.
Round of applause.
There we go. Round of applause, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, but that's really good words to live by. Like, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, you telling us that being the back, for leaders, like obviously Keneal oh my God, I can't say his name. Thomas, will you?
Khalil Nash.
There you go. Him and Alec.
Yeah, it's a funny thing to say. A lot of people don't say it right.
I can't say it right, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry if you're listening.
Yeah, it's Khalil. It's like a lel. It's not like a Khalil. It's not like that. He's not like an electric eel,
Or Khalid.
What a nickname that is. No, but anyway, going on that, you being the backing track for it, what have you learned, like, backing them up? Have you, like, learned stuff to make you go, oh, okay, so when I do solo, this is what I'm gonna do? Have you, like, learned anything?
Oh, I've definitely learned so much. That's honestly been the best part about being a backing musician for so long, is kind of getting to see all of the different band leaders in town, and not just in the singer-songwriter scene, like all the people we're talking about right now, like people like Alex and Khalil and Andrew Barrick and Shannon Patino, and just like a whole bunch of people that I've had the privilege to play in their bands and help bring their music to life. But also like playing in jazz gigs around town. It's definitely a lot different. There's a lot more focus on money, which is nice for my wallet, but not always the best for the paycheck. It's like that with jazz. It's like that with a lot of like top 40 gigs where you're just playing pop songs. It's like, it's not about the music. It's about just making the people dance. It's about the money. And it's nice to kind of see all of the different things that people are doing in town, whether it be jazz, whether it be top 40, whether it be singer-songwriter, and just kind of pick the people who I think do it the best and take those things from them. Like, for instance, Alex is probably the most organized person I have ever worked with in terms of being a band leader out of all of these people. I swear, everything he sends, it's like an email to confirm everything, and like everything's over email, everything's like all the details are laid out. And I mean, I'm not planning on having a band anytime soon, but if I did, that's how I would do it. I would do it like Alex. He pays his musicians. He knows the music industry inside and out. It's about knowing the business just as much as it is about knowing the craft of making good music. So I guess that's what I've learned. Just an amalgamation of all of the different people I've worked with, just to take the best things out of all of them.
True that. That's great. And that's what you have to do. So that way you take the best and then you put it on yourself, and then you can make yourself better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Slay the dragon.
Slay the dragon. There you go.
There you go.
Gee, should we call that the episode Slay the Dragon with Thomas Meyer?
We should name that episode Slay. Yes. This episode, yeah, we'll name it that.
Slaying the dragon.
Hold on. I'll note it up real quick. I might forget.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you,
thank
Thomas.
you.
To end the episode.
Yeah, that's great.
So does that mean we're going to get some Thomas Meyer merch?
Oh, I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon.
Oh, okay.
Part of it is the fact that I don't like asking for money, and I feel like I would feel very uncomfortable asking for people to buy things from me that, it's like,
Yeah.
that's part of it. And the other part of it is the fact that it kind of makes me uncomfortable to see my name plastered on a t-shirt.
Okay.
It's like if I had a band, it might be different. If I had like a band name plastered on a t-shirt, that'd be one thing.
Right.
But I feel like it's like, and no offense to the people who do this, like, they have courage that I don't have, but to plaster your name on a t-shirt just feels so narcissistic to me, and it just like kind of makes me uncomfortable, and I'm just like, so these people are going to be wearing these shirts with my name on it all around, and like, I don't know, I just feel weird about that. But I guess it's a hurdle to climb if I'm going to make a living as a musician.
Well, not anytime soon, but maybe in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe in the future, once I like actually have a following and
Right, once you establish yourself.
yeah, and I don't feel weird asking for money from fans. It's just my whole fan base right now consists of my friends and family, and I think that's I feel weird about asking
Right.
for money from them,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that makes sense.
So maybe when there's 500 monthly listeners on Spotify, I'll consider
There
it.
you go.
But till that day.
There you go.
So speaking about like collaborations, like what is there an artist specifically that you want to collaborate with, like your favorite artist?
Are you talking about realistic or unrealistic?
Any.
Let's do both. Let's do realistic at first, and let's do unrealistic.
Both.
All right. Realistically, there's this guy, he used to go by Vinny D, and that's what I call him, but now he goes by Vince Desert or Vince Desert. Oh God, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I just call him Vinny D, but he's going by his like real name now, which is Vince Desert. And I would love to write a song with him at some point. He does super folky kind of stuff, very influenced by the Lumineers.
Oh yes, the dream. Yes.
Very, very, very talented. Has a really unique voice. We played a show together recently, backing this girl named Shannon Patino at the NAMM Festival.
Oh.
And that was up in LA, the musicians conference, and we had the opportunity to play there. And yeah, he was on like backing acoustic guitar, and I was on keys. Sammer was on bass for that gig too, so that was really cool. And I would love to collaborate with them. I think our sounds would really mesh together. So that's the realistic one. Oh, and also Tristan, of course. I mean, we're already collaborating together on a lot of stuff. He's going to play mandolin on Hibernation Volume 2, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. Yeah. As far as unrealistic people I would never be able to collaborate with, I would love to... there's this lady named Phoebe Bridgers. Have you heard of Phoebe Bridgers?
No. Sorry.
Oh, she's ridiculously good. She is amazing. She is fantastic. She's one of my favorite singer-songwriters right now. She does like indie folk kind of stuff mixed with indie rock, and her songwriting is wonderful. I would love to collaborate with her at some point. Stevie Wonder, maybe. I would love to play in Stevie Wonder's band. That would be like... That's like getting more and more unrealistic, but yeah. Lucy Dacus too.
I think Evan told me a story that when he went up to NAMM,
oh yeah, he was there
music
too.
conference that you're just talking about, he saw Stevie Wonder. He thought he saw.
Oh, he saw Stevie?
He thought he did.
Oh.
It was a guy, and he had sunglasses on, and he was surrounded by security guards, and he looked like Stevie Wonder. So it might have been.
Yeah. So. That was such a cool experience going to NAMM this year, because it's like sometimes you see like famous people on the street or whatever, like very, very rarely. But the cool thing about NAMM is that everybody who goes there is somebody. And I mean, not like everybody, but like most people, like you can't just like apply for a badge. You have to have like a reason for going there. Like you have to be an affiliate with somebody in the industry. So if you introduce yourself to somebody at NAMM, it's not like introducing yourself to somebody on the street. It's like you are somebody and they are somebody. So they actually like listen to you and talk to you. My friend Angelica met Thundercat there. I managed to run into Bootsy Collins, who was the bass player for James Brown, also Parliament Funkadelic. He is one of my heroes.
Wow.
I ran into Adam Neely, who does YouTube videos. I ran into, who else did I run into? Lewis Cole, who's one of my musical heroes. And you see all these people just like walking around and just like hanging out. And it's like people that most people probably have never heard of, but us being the nerdy musicians that we are, we're like, that's that person. And there's such like low level celebrities that like they're actually like approachable in person. So that's what's so cool about NAMM. It's like playing Pokemon. Like gotta catch all of the famous musicians. I ran into Terrace Martin, who it does a lot of production for Kendrick Lamar. He was touring with Herbie Hancock in the bathroom.
Wow, what a meeting.
Like I saw him walking out and everybody like has their eyes on him and is staring at him. And he goes, what's up, mother effers? And it was the funniest thing. Yeah, but anyway, NAMM is awesome.
Wow.
Highly recommend.
It sounds awesome. Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. And Evan went.
I ran into Evan there.
Wow, I know somebody. We know somebody. Yeah. Yeah, Evan had a great time there.
Yeah, I ran into Evan, Randy, Remington, all of them. I think I was with Tristan, and his dad's phone was dying, and we were meeting up with some people, so we couldn't hang out for very long. But yeah, it's super cool. We all got an Airbnb up in LA for the whole weekend. It was...
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it was me, Sammer, Khalil, Tristan, my friend Angelica, a whole bunch of people, like Max was there, who plays in this band called Splendid Noises. He also was the drummer for Khalil for a while.
Oh, him. Yeah,
he's the drummer for Sammer, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all these, like... all of my favorite people, all of the musicians I look up to that I'm grateful to be able to call friends, all of them there that weekend. And it was a good time.
That
it was
is
a riot.
so cool. That is awesome. You know, speaking of Angelica, I don't know if I told you, Thomas, but I was doing a story for the school newspaper.
Oh, yeah?
Before I was on the radio, I was doing a story for the school newspaper. Yeah, gee, just keep laughing. Anyway, and she was in a Middle Eastern ensemble.
Right, yeah.
And I saw her, and I heard her name. And afterwards, she was sitting outside, and I went up to her, and I'm like, hi, can I ask you something real quick? Do you know Thomas Meyer? She's like, yeah, I know Thomas. I'm like, me too.
That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny that you know her, because we go way back. Literally, when I first started playing jazz. Oh, this is actually a kind of funny story. So I was in this program called the International Academy of Jazz, led by trumpet master, like, I'm honored to even know him. His name's Gilbert Castellanos. He's one of the best trumpet players in the country, honestly. So Gilbert Castellanos runs this jazz school, and we were like both, like, she'd been playing for like years, and I was like literally just starting to learn jazz. And we were both in that school together, but we didn't know each other. Like, we were in different ensembles and stuff. He hits me up and he's like, would you like to do a feature for the Young Lions series? which is like this weekly concert series at Balboa Park at Panama 66. And I'm like, yes, I would. And he's like, all right, come up with a set list, find your band. It'll be in June. So I was like, I don't know any bass players. So I Facebook messaged Angelica Pruitt and asked her to do the gig. And she says yes. And then we get to like 2 weeks before the gig, and I hit her up about a rehearsal, and then she realizes, like, she gets to the rehearsal, and she realizes that she doesn't know me, that she thought I was somebody else. She thought I was this kid named Jason Picker, who was also a blonde piano player in the school.
But didn't your name come up as Thomas Meyer when you messaged her?
I don't know. I don't even know. So, like, she shows up to the rehearsal and she doesn't even know me. And thus began our 4-year-long friendship.
Aww.
Yeah, we go way back, man.
Oh my gosh.
She's been the real one.
That is so funny.
Shout out to Angelica.
Yeah, shout out to her.
All right, so Thomas, for someone who wants to get into the music industry, someone who's interested in music, what is your advice to them?
I would say there's, first of all, slay the dragon every day.
There you go.
Every day that you're working on whatever you're doing, just try to get a little bit farther. Just try to do something that challenges you every day and just push yourself a little bit farther. Don't focus on the big picture. Also, just show up to things. Like, show up to open mics, show up to jam sessions, show up to shows, because then you'll be able to meet people who are doing what you're doing. And it'll be that much easier to reach for your goals if you have a community of people who are reaching with you. And you'll be able to share things with them and relate to them and make friendships and just have a group and community of people that you can fall back to and support each other along the way, because we're not going to succeed by ourselves. It's a group effort, and we're all going to grow together.
Definitely.
Wise words. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yes.
Definitely. It's so important.
Folks, well, you heard 2 musical advice from 2 different musicians. I hope anybody who's listening to this and who is wanting to become a musician, I hope you take those words, and I hope you're inspired by them, because I certainly am inspired, and I don't even know music.
Me too. Same.
Well, you guys are trying to do radio stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a hard industry to get into, and just slay the dragon every day and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's art. It's a form of art too.
It's a form of art. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like us artists all have to stick together and support each other.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, there's people in my little Lestat circle that are photographers, that are writers, that are like all different forms of art, and it's all one and the same. Like sound engineers, it's like we all have to support each other,
Definitely. So before we go, guys, let's just give a shout out to the essential workers.
Shout out to everybody in all of the fields of healthcare and all of that stuff. Thank you for what you're doing, and we hope to support you in any way that we can. This is Thomas Meyer, a local musician, and you are listening to Griffin Radio.
Yay.
All right, and lastly, before we go, Thomas, where can they find you?
So I'm on all social media. You can find me on Instagram at Thomas Meyer Keys. That's the one I'm the most active on, but you can just search Thomas Meyer Keys on any of the social medias and you'll be able to find me. I also have a website, thomasmeyerkeys.com, that I have spent about a week over quarantine designing and getting ready. So you'll be able to find all the different things that I do on that. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Music, any of the streaming services, iTunes, you name it. My EP, Hibernation Volume 1, came out just over a week ago. And you can find it on any of the streaming services or Bandcamp or SoundCloud or you name it. And Hibernation 2 will be on all of those very soon. Thanks so much for listening.
Yes, there you go. Okay, guys, so if you have reached this part of the podcast towards the end, comment below your name and where you're from, and thank you so much for listening. Our socials are Griffin Radio SD on Instagram. Griffin Radio SD on Instagram. On Facebook, we have a profile called Griffin Radio SD. We also have a page called Griffin Radio. And then on Twitter, you could follow us on G_Radio SD. And we also have a website, www.grossmont.edu/Griffin Radio. If you want to contact us, you can contact us at gradiostation119@gmail.com. All of that information will be listed in the description below.
Also, we are back on the TuneIn app. So, guys, if you want to listen to the TuneIn app, just search up Griffin Radio on TuneIn. We have a link on our website. We are back up there. We are back to streaming music. Also, you will hear our voices. It's not live, but it is recorded. So if you hear us on the radio, you know that we're there, but we're not actually there. But our main place is YouTube right here. So if you guys have made it this far, like, subscribe, ring that bell button, become a fan because, everybody's doing a great job. And who knows, we might just have more amazing artists come on and join us.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thomas, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you having here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
This was fun. We had a great time.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I need as much social interaction as possible right now, so this was great.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, that's a big mood right there. All right, guys, don't forget to wash your hands, keep your social distance as usual, and slay the dragon.
Yeah, slay the dragon, guys.
Okay, guys. Bye. Thank you for joining us. This is Giovanni.
And this is Sarah. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.